it's me. Welcome back to my channel and to another folding video. First and foremost, I want to say that I just filmed a whole video and then I realized I was completely rambling and I made absolutely no sense. So I stopped myself and I was like, Lisa, I really think you should restart this video. So off to a fantastic start. That's okay though, because I have so much laundry, so we can just keep on keeping on. First and foremost, thank you so much for your love and support this week. I haven't been feeling very well. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Got up, showered, which is like half the battle, quite honestly. And I'm gonna go see a doctor because I just want to make sure everything is okay. But with that, I feel like I'm gonna recap the video I just shot. And I will make more sense now that I've thought it out. Usually on Wednesdays, I just like literally word vomit. Sometimes I'll tell a story. And today I just did not plan this out very well. But I was having a general thought today about the pros and cons, or rather the goods and bads that have come out for me personally, like habit-wise, of the last 3 years, the pandemic, the whole shebang. And it all started because we are trying to figure out what to do for Corny while we do some traveling. And we've realized that she's become really, really, really codependent on us and really, really, really anxious. And I assume that some of that has just come with age, you know what I mean? But also I think it's because of the last 3 years and us being home so much that she has just become completely like so codependent and like so anxious when she's not with me or Jeff. And even sometimes like when she's, well, or my mom, like my mom she's good with too. So, you know, and then that got me thinking about like, oh, well, what are all the like pros and cons of things that in my life, like routine wise, that have kind of come about after the last 3 years. And I was just curious to hear your take on it as well. No judgment at all, because it has really been a really difficult 3 years. Are we coming up on 4 years? Sheesh. But I thought it was interesting conversation. So what I was thinking for myself in terms of maybe some habits I'd like to break is definitely like this hermiting thing, because we had been home so much and I work from home, and I feel like even more of my work has now been moved to home. Like when I do voiceover jobs, I don't go in anymore. I do them from my house. So like I'm really not socializing very much, and I'm also just like literally not leaving the house. And with that comes bad social anxiety when I do go out, and also, I mean, I've talked about this so much, but like bad car anxiety because I'm just not doing it as much. And so I feel like that's something that I'm actively working on, and I think it's like important to work on, because I know like, oh, are you okay? I'm gonna move this down. Oh, you sweet thing. Because I know as much as I like enjoy being home, and I have my husband who is also my best friend, and my doggy, and we have great neighbors, like it is important to socialize, and I have the best friends ever, but we all like kind of have this tendency to keep pushing plans, because I feel like a lot of us are in the same position where it's just like so much easier to stay home, and like we have text changes going, and like sometimes we'll play games online together, and like, you know, it's just so, it's become so easy to not do face-to-face and not literally leave your home base. And that rhymed. And I feel like that's something that has happened and I'd like to work on. So there's that. And I think in doing so, that might help her out as well. I'm trying to think what else, maybe in terms of habits that I'd like to change. I mean, we definitely have been drinking more consistently. Not like excess amount, but more consistently. And that, I mean, it was just hands down a pandy thing. It was just like a thing. Do you know what I mean? If you know, you know. And, you know, I feel like it's something that we could definitely, well, I'm not gonna speak for Jeff. Him and I are always on our own journeys. We do our journeys together, but it's not right for me to speak for him. For me, it's like, oh, you know, I am working towards trying to get pregnant, so that's a perfect time and reason to start sort of being a little less consistent with the drinking habits. So there's that. Again, no judgment for anyone or even myself. You know, I'm trying not to judge myself with all this stuff. I'm learning that in therapy. It's so hard though. Like, it's so much easier to just like hate and judge yourself for things that maybe aren't perfect and you want to work on. But like, you remember when like a parent would tell you not to do something, then you just wanted to do it more? It's the same thing when you like talk to yourself like that. So self-talk needs to be a little bit more forgiving and positive. And my therapist said, instead of judging, just be curious about it. So instead of like putting your arms up and be like, ew, I can't believe that, you can be like, oh, this is interesting. I'm curious why I do this, whatever the case may be. So there's that. Some positives that came from it. I definitely think my friends and I, ironically, even though we don't see each other as much, have definitely gotten closer because of our communication. I felt like we started a bunch of like group chats because we needed some sort of socialization, and through that I actually feel like our communication in many ways have gotten better because we needed outlets and we needed places to express our feelings. And I feel like my friends have become so open and like honest, and with that, so hysterical. And like, I think that I've gotten so much closer to all my friends on a more like emotional level. So I think that's beautiful. And obviously Jeff and I have gotten so much closer because we literally have been living on top of each other, and we've learned how to communicate even better, which is great. And we've also learned together how to work through some really stressful times. So that's wonderful. I also think like just sustainability, we've gotten pretty good. We like, as I'm folding all these, we don't use paper towels anymore because at the beginning it was so hard to get paper goods. And then we realized we were spending so much money and wasting so much. So we're trying to like be a little bit more sustainable with our purchasing. Like, we don't use plastic Ziploc bags anymore. We try to do all reusable stuff. We're not perfect at it, but we're trying. And I feel like that's been really kind of an awesome thing that has come out of this. And definitely, ultimately, a lot of gratitude, a lot of kindness, not only to the people I know, but just like people in general, because it's so obvious that everyone's in such a disarray and that everyone's been struggling in one way or another. And I just feel like all we need is a little bit of grace. This sounds like super woo-woo and super hippie, but like, I do actually believe like what the world needs now is love, and it's so obvious and apparent to me. And so just trying my best to be kind and good to people, and you know, say hi to people when you go into the store. Be kind and patient with people that work in the service industry. Oh my God, my goodness, those people are working hard and dealing with so much crap, and I'm so grateful for them. And obviously all of our medical and service workers who just put the frontline workers who put themselves out there. And then also just like another positive thing is like really just being mindful of our health and making sure we're taking proper care of each other, or ourselves and each other. At least I'm talking about our house, like really making sure that we're consistent with eating healthy and exercising. And again, not perfect at all, because you have to have fun. You gotta have a little bit of fun. You gotta eat the treats now and again. But like, we really both wanted to like make sure that we try to stay as healthy as possible. So if and when we get sick, our bodies are able to fight the good fight. You know what I mean? So I think those are some positives and a few things that I'd like to work on. And I was curious if you guys would be up for sharing some of your habits that you feel like you've adopted in the last 3 years that are positive, and also some that maybe you want to work on. Again, not with judgment of yourself or judgment of others, but just simply out of like curiosity and an excitement to like continue to evolve and do good and do better. And you know, I feel like change is good and necessary, and it's good for us all to have goals. But yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. And my laundry is folded. Yay! Wow, this version was so much more concise and made so much more sense than the version before. Maybe that's what a little bit of planning could do for you. Not my style, but here we are. I see the results, folks. See, change. Change is good. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And again, thank you so much for sticking by me this week. Podcast information is down below if you want to submit stories to be chatted about on the podcast. That would be awesome. And they can be totally anonymous, so no stress there. Also, we have a Patreon. We have a Patreon. And I'll do like an official video about the Patreon, but I like to drop these little nuggets of information at the end of videos, because if you've gotten this far, then you're a true homie. And maybe you would be interested in joining the Patreon. I've never done that before. I literally just have never, I don't know, I just never did it. I hate asking for anything from you guys other than your love and support, but I do think this will be really fun, and there's so many different options on there in terms of paywall, like, you know what I mean, categories. See, clearly I don't even really know that much about it. But check it out, because we'll also be doing lives on there for certain members, and lots of feedback opportunities, and a whole nother show on there that Jeff and I are doing. So yeah, I'm just kind of like expanding and trying again new things, and just trying to get, Stella's just trying to get her groove back, as I hope all of you are too. And just remember, everything takes time, and you know, growth is forever, and it can be slow, but steady. And that's cool. Life, you know? Hey. Today's video brought to you by Oprah. I love you guys very much, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.